to another edition of our Fabric Sundays, organized by the Winnipeg Fabric and Power BI user group. And just a recap of what we did last week. Last week, Sunday, we talked about a concept called medallion architecture. And the video is already on our YouTube page. You can go there and rewatch the video. But let me just do a recap. So we talked about medallion architecture. We are able to create a new workspace. This is the workspace here. If I go to workspaces and I go to medallion architecture, so you will see the workspace there, right? And in this and everything you see here, we created them from scratch last week Sunday. We created a workspace. We talked about the architecture. We have the bronze layer, silver layer, and the gold layer. The bronze layer is a layer where you just dump the data coming from the source, the way it is, the raw data, unprocessed, not yet transformed, just the way it's coming from the source. You just dump it there. Some people call it the staging layer, right? The assumption is that although the example we had was not an ideal example anyway, but the assumption was that let's say you have your OLTP database, which is like a database that has the raw data, that has all the tables normalized, because in an OLTP database system, they usually apply what is called the third normal form. The third normal form means that, for example, for a particular business entity, uh, you will see tables normalized in such a way based on their shared attributes. Yes, based on their. So that's why sometimes you see in an OLTP system, you see something like, uh, for example, let's say the products entity, right? And you will see a table called products, and you will see another table called products subcategory, and you will see another one called products category. So there's an hierarchy, right? And they have been normalized, sorry. They have been normalized uh, in a way that will break down one business entity into smaller components. And yes, it's understandable that that's the nature of an OLTP database system. Like, because it is optimized for fast read and fast write, because we want data to enter it as fast as possible. We want to be able to read stuff from it as fast as possible. So that's the structure of a OLTP database, right? So we extract data. So the assumption is that we extract data from that raw database, unclaimed one, because you cannot use data directly from it because of the structure, right? It's not the kind of data that you will start reporting from there. It's not an ideal. It's not ideal in an enterprise scenario. So we also moved on to talk about the silver layer. That was where we use data flow gen tools to transform the data in between. And after doing that, we also loaded the data into a fabric lake. So the fabric lake house was used for our bronze layer. Then fabric lake house again was used for our silver layer. But for the bronze layer, we used what's it called? The fabric file section, which is ideal for raw data, and the table section, which is where data has been transformed and we've put it to that section, and the table has now turned from a CSV file to now what we call a delta table. A delta table means a parquet file format plus log files, right? And from there, now what we did was that for the transformation layer, which is the silver layer, we did not uh, do or position the table in a relational manner. That is, we just have one central table, one central denormalized table that we have cleaned. We have put them in the right data type. We have adjusted the time and dates of different columns. We have done a lot of transformations. We've removed uh, columns that we do not need. All those normal data flow gen 2 Power Query stuff. We've done that. and we now pushed it to the data warehouse. It is ideal for our good layer. Now, what we now did is that here's another data flow gen 2 that we brought in. And in that data flow gen 2 was where uh, we were able to break down the tables into different dimensions and also brought out the facts, and we were able to publish that to the fabric warehouse where we now created our semantic model from. So I'm going to open the fabric warehouse now. That's where you see fabric underscore gold underscore layer. I open the fabric warehouse for you to see now. So on the fabric warehouse, you'll see that the default schema is the DBO. DBO means database owner, right? Default schema that we have there, right? And we were able to, let me delete this test schema. I want to delete this one. Oh, since I cannot delete it like this from here, I created this one by myself, but I'll show you how I did it anyway. So you see all the tables that we loaded in from the second data flow gen 2, they entered the DBO schema, the table section, and you see all these tables here, right? You see the dim underscore customer, you see dim products. This was not the way the original table was looking like. Oh. We were the ones that broke it down like this. And we're able to have one fact table, which is the fact underscore sales. And you see the dim store, the sales team, the dimension, product, and customer, right? And we're also able to create a semantic model from here. So let me go back to the workspace. And what I will do now is that let me delete the semantic model so that we can recreate it. And we can do all the stuff we want to do on top of it. Last week, we were not really able to do anything on the semantic model because of the time. Our time was really fast spent last week, and we're trying to manage time. So let me just do it again from here. So while you've done all the cleaning and all from data problem, so you've loaded the data inside the warehouse, the next thing is to do is to create a semantic model. How do we do that? We go to the new semantic model here. Now you see at this top up of this top part here, you click on new semantic model, and it will ask you to give the model a name. So because we are dealing with sales, right? So let's call this our sales core model. Our sales, so there's a concept called core and specialized most thematic model. But I'm still going to explain that to us later, since we are taking the Fabric Sunday class one step at a time, no rush. Because we want everybody to understand this. Now, if you look at this thing, there's something called direct link semantic model name. Uh Isaramola, do you remember direct query, import, all of those
Yeah.
things?
Yeah.
Thank you. Now, in Microsoft Fabric, there's something called direct link. We are used to direct query, which is like when your Power BI is connecting directly to the source. That is, we are not. It's not actually importing. It's not actually importing the physical data inside of your Power BI, right? And we said the import mode is like when we import the data itself inside of the Power BI desktop. Right now, the direct link mode, and we also have another one in Power BI called the dual mode that has like that combines the feature of both the import and the direct query. Now, the direct link mode is the terminology uh for the Fabric environment. So when we are creating a semantic model, and our source is a data sitting inside the Fabric environment, whether from the lakehouse or the warehouse or KQL database or SQL database inside of Microsoft Fabric. So far, the data is on the Fabric environment, and we are creating a semantic model from there. The default mode is going to be a direct link mode. Now, direct link simply means that semantic model created from the Fabric data. Is that clear, sir? Whether it's from the lake house, whether
Yeah,
it's
it
from the
is.
warehouse, like sitting on one lake. Do you understand? So,
Yeah.
in Microsoft Fabric, we have different experiences. We have the lakehouse experience, we have the warehouse experience, which is like the common one that everybody knows. There's even the KQL. I've not explored that before anyway. That one is for streaming data. I've not explored it before. I've just watched videos on it like to have general knowledge, but I've not really explored that part. So the direct link mode is the default mode when you are connected to the fabric environment. Like you're creating a semantic model from that environment. Now, exactly for the workspace. So it's on the medallion architecture workspace, right? And it asks you for the tables you want to actually use and create the what's it called? The tables you want to use and create the now. Another good thing I like about this is that you can also somebody wants to join. Oh, Mr. Taiwo wants to join. You can also um how's it called? When you are creating a semantic model, you can also add your views. So let's say you created a view here. So for example, I think I had a query here last week. Yes, I had a query here. Yes, a query where we did some joins. So we're looking for the product and the sales, right? And we did a sum of multiply the unit price by the quantity to get the sales figures, and we say product ID. And because we are bringing this product ID from the product table and bringing the sales aggregation from the sales table, fact table, we have to do an inner join, right? And I think we ran this query. Let me see. I think we have the view here. Oh, that means we didn't save this view. So I can run this query again. I can run this query again. Good. So this is see all these products and their sales. Now I can highlight on this one here, on this my query, and save it as a view. Right? What's my view name? I'll call my view sales. Sorry, I'll call it products. I can call it product sales. Dot underscore sales. Underscore sales. Right? I can call my view that name. Welcome, Mr. Taiwan, Mr. Abraham. So I can call it my view product underscore sales. And this is this SQL query for my view, right? Then I can click on OK. I can click on OK to save the view. I don't know why it's telling me I cannot save my view. It said the order by clause is one thing, one thing, one thing. I don't understand. But the query is running now. Let me look at the error message again. The order by clause is invalid in views. Inline functions, derived tables, subqueries, or common table expressions, unless top offsets. Oh, okay. No issue then. Let me remove the order by if that is what is causing problem. Okay. So let me run the query again here. Okay. Now let me highlight the view again, the query again, and save as view this time. I pray it doesn't give me any problem this time. I just say product underscore sales. That's the name of the view. And I can click on OK now this time. Oh, my view successfully created now. I think the other buyer was the problem. Good. So I have my view under the view folder here, the views folder here. So I have 4 dimensions, one fact table, and one view. So let me go back again and create a new semantic model. I'll click on new semantic model, and I will call this my model sys underscore core model, because this is our core model. And we can also create a specialized model from this core model, which I'm going to explain to us later. And then I can go and pick the tables I want to add in my semantic model. So I will not add this. How am I having this clone? Okay, These ones are coming from the test schema. But I'm picking tables from my DBO schema, right? Customer products, sales team, store, and the facts underscore sales. So I can also, well, I don't really need to add this one because I don't really think I need it. But you just put it there to show you that you can also create views and add your views in your semantic model. Your views will be like a table also, right? Okay, so when I'm done, then I click on confirm. I've created a new semantic model from here. And unlike when we usually go to Power BI desktop to do stuff, for this one, we don't need to do that. You don't need to go to Power BI desktop to do anything. We can create our DAX from here. You can create DAX. You can do your model editing and do all of those things from here, right from your Microsoft Fabric environment. So now we can go back to the workspace, and you will see that the model is still still refreshing or something. Okay, so let me click on it. I'll click on the model, and I'm on the semantic model view now. But I cannot really see anything here, right? I'm only seeing the tables from here. Now, I want to be able to open the semantic model, click on open semantic model. And when I do that, this is where I will now come. Now, by default, I'm on the view. I'm on the view, uh, what's it called? I can only view, like I'm on the viewing mode. Yes, that's the word, the viewing mode. But if I want to edit the semantic model, I'll come to the viewing mode here and change it to edit. Now you see that you can even edit in your Power BI desktop. See, you can edit in your Power BI desktop. Now let's edit in the Fabric interface here. So I'll click on editing. I'll click on edit. I'll change it to edit mode. Now another good thing that I want you guys to also note is that your semantic model, you will see version history. So for every time you make a change, you can save the version history when you make that change. It means that you can always go back to that version. Interesting, right? You can always go back to that version. You can even create your report from here, right? So let's go. So as we all know, the dimension table will be, you know, we always build a star schema. Dimension table will be left and right, and we'll have the fact table be in the middle. And all the dimension table can connect to the fact table, right? So let's start the connection now. So as we know, customer ID will connect to the customer ID, right? Yes, we can come here, make it happen. We can assume refresher integrity, right? You can assume refresher integrity. Customer ID, one-to-many relationship. We can click on save. We're also going to come into product also. Product ID. We'll link it together here. And one-to-many, we can also assume refresher integrity. If you don't understand the refresher integrity as a concept, I can share one of my YouTube videos with you where I really explained it for you to understand the concept very well, refresher integrity. So normally you should have a one-to-many relationship between your tables, between fact and dimension. Sales team ID, sales team ID. Zone pressure, I'm trying to be very fast so that I can cover as much as we can. The dim store, store ID, store ID, store ID, zoom refresher integrity, and we click on save. So now we've created our what's it called? We've created WhatsApp. We've created our table relationship. Now I can come here now and save to version history, right? And I can say this one is version 1. Is version 1, right? And I click on save. And I click on save. Now I have saved it now. It means that when I go to file here and I go to version history, you see it's telling me that there's a version called version 1.
Hello, Miss Aaron. So, I just need initials,
Can you mute
Semantic ló
yourself,
fẹ́
please? So somebody's
so
saying something.
ẹ̀yin lè kọ̀ nígbà yẹn àbí?
Oluwale.
Ah, no problem.
Sorry, I had to mute you. So it means that I can always go back to that version. So I can say these three dots here, and I'll click on restore. So it tracks all different changes that I've made. But there's a limitation. And limitation is that you can only save up to 5 versions of a semantic model. You cannot save more than 5 versions at a time of a semantic model. So that's the only limitation, right? But don't worry, if you know how to use Git, Git, Git with Azure DevOps, Git with Visual Studio Code, Git and GitHub, in fact, you have no problem, right? Because you'll be able to do more enterprise kind of version control and also do CI/CD pipeline that will help you validate uh, the commits that you have been. Don't let me even go to that area yet. We are still going to come back there later, one step at a time. Okay, so now you can even come here and create a new measure, right? So I can use an iterator, for example. I want to see the sales figures. I want to say total sales, and I will say total sales equals to the sum x, right? It will be the sum x of, I have my table called facts. I don't know why I'm not seeing my intelligence like I will see on the, oh my God. I'm not sure whether what I'm writing will make sense. Is it fact underscore sales? What's the name of that table say? Okay, it's fact underscore sales. Fact underscore sales. Um, yes, comma. Now I'm going to multiply because I don't want to start creating a calculated column. Then and I'll start. Sorry, you guys. Not really used to doing this thing from here. So now I'm going to multiply. What's the name of that column? Quantity. Here's the quantity. Yeah, other quantity is the name of the column. Other quantity, right? I'm going to multiply it by. Let me just copy this and just change the what's it called? So I'm going to multiply order quantity by the unit price. Okay, I think I have the unit price in another table. So that will be, I'll bring in related. I'll bring in related. Right? Related. Somebody help me here. Related dim products. Related dim products. Uh Related dim products.
Do we need to use related dim since all the table are connected together and they are on one to many relationship?
Yes, because the table that I'm using a calculation on is sales. I don't have the unit price inside of the sales table. It's on another table. It's on product table. So I have to use related to bring it out. Do you understand me, sir?
Okay.
Or is there any other way you think we can do it?
I was thinking the only time that we use related or related table is when we have many to many and we are trying to mute one relationship for another relationship.
No.
Okay.
It's not only when we have many to many. Oh. Does it even work in many to many? I'm not. Is it even ideal to have many to many in a model? It's not really ideal. Is it that you? So what me I usually do instead of me having many to many, what I usually do is to probably introduce a surrogate key. So for example, you can have tables that are SCD type 2 tables because for example, in a product table, the prices can be changing, and for every change, it keeps history of the changes. We see product ID 101 can appear 4 times. The first three might be because the prices, the old prices per time, and the current one, the fourth one, is showing the current price as at now. So in that case, you cannot call the product ID a primary key. It's a primary, is a identifier for the different products, right? But in that case, you cannot link it up with the sales table. That will create many to many. So what I usually do, I'm talking about myself personally. Everybody has their own different approach. What I usually do is to introduce a surrogate key that will it's just like an artificial generated numbers that will start from maybe one and have that sequential flow 1, 2, 3, and you make every row to be unique, right?
That means the
Eh,
model now becomes snowflakes.
no, 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 it's not snowflake. Oh. It is still star schema. So when I introduce the surrogate key, the every row becomes unique. And what I will now do is I will now use Power Query to return that surrogate key. That is now my new primary key now. Is to return. So what I usually do is that I will combine the product ID, right, with probably the price and use that to return the new surrogate key on the sales table. So that the surrogate key can now be on the sales table as the primary key for product ID. Maybe when I do a real example with us, you will be able to
Oh,
understand
okay.
it better. Yes, because we usually mix this kind of scenarios, especially that sometimes that your dimension table is going to be SCD type 2 table. That's the way me I usually undo it. That's the way I usually approach it. Okay, so I think I'm done. Uh, then I close the bracket here. Am I closing bracket 2 times? Yeah, yeah. Just to close it 2 times. And I press enter. I don't like this interface. So, hey, wait, what just happened? The special character in the measure name. All my wahala is money. Jesus. Oh, sorry. Oh. I have to write, I have to copy this measure. Oh, I didn't know now that I don't allow special character. Then you write it again. Some X. Oh, it's now bringing the table for me now. Imagine. Part sales. The expression is now order quantity. Okay, multiply by related, related. What's the column name? Uh, unit price. Yeah. And I close the bracket 2 times. Please don't do anything this time. Good. So I have the measure. The measure is now here as total sales. I don't know why it went straight to, in fact, the dimension table. So you see now here that we can write our DAX formulas. We can even do our row level security from here. You see, you can create a new row. You can do all of that. By the time we get to the security part of this class, I'm going to show us how you can do your object level security, your row level security, how you can, implement or deploy. In fact, I will even show you how to even manage your semantic model, how to manage and deploy semantic model using XMLA endpoints, which is a standard protocol for writing and reading into the semantic model using tabular editor. I will show you all of that, but it might not be today, but as I said, one step at a time. So we can even do calculation group right from here. We can even do what is called query parameters. Okay, this one is not. This one is feed parameters. So don't let me confuse everybody. I beg. This one is feed new parameter. You can create a feed parameter, right? Feeds and numeric range parameter from here. You can even manage relationship from here. Just like what you will always see on your this, you can even delete your label relationship from here. Like just like your Power BI desktop. Same thing you are seeing here. You can do your this one has BPA. But we are getting there later. What again? New measure. You can create a new table. For example, if I have a DAX expression that can create for me a calendar table based on the the minimum and the maximum calendar date that I have inside of my fact table, I can also put it here and it's going to create it for me, and I can connect with my fact table, right? Um, what again can I do here? I think that's basically some of the things that you have here. You might not have extensive features like the way you would do inside of your Power BI desktop. So now, yeah, so now we have created the semantic model. We can connect our Power BI desktop now to this semantic model for us to start creating our reports, right? For us to start creating our reports. Is there anybody that has questions up to this point, please? Anybody, any question?
Yeah, no question from my side.
Okay. I'm going to share my entire screen now. So as a Power BI developer, there's a possibility that in your company, in terms the database admin person might not give you the person might not even give you access to they might not even give you access to the lake house or anything. They will have done all the processes before, they will have done all the notebooks and all, and they might only just give you access to only the semantic model. Or worst case scenario, just give you access to the data warehouse, which is like the clean data that has that relational model kind of structure. And because sometimes you might need to also write TSQL to query the data to see one or two things in the data before you start, and you'll be the one to create the semantic model by yourself. So that's why I said it all depends on the company and their governance policy that determines the kind of access that I'm going to give you. So if you look at my screen now, I have my Power BI desktop opened. I can go to blank report or click on my one lake catalog. And when I get there, it will show me everything I have in my one lake catalog. So if you see now, what do you see now? You see, I was very careful of something here because I have some other tables. So ignore this production and test. So the one we just created now, where is it? You see, this is the core model. I can click on this and I can click on edit, I can click on connect. Now, there are something, maybe I'll explain that next week Sunday. It's something that I want to explain about core versus specialized semantic model. I said it earlier. where you can edit a thematic model that has been created on inside the Fabric environment. You can edit it from here, but there are some limitations to that, right? There are some limitations to that. You will not be able to edit inside of Power Query. That's one of the issues that you have. Not being able to edit inside of Power Query. If you publish the same thematic model inside the same workspace, it will update it, right? If you publish it inside an a new workspace entirely, right? It will see it as a new semantic model entirely, right? But the good thing is that it's still going to reference to where it's coming from, even though you've edited it to and publish that semantic model inside of a new workspace, it's still going to be able to reference it as the source. Does that make sense to us? So I can connect to this now. And I want to show you guys something. So now I've been able to connect to it. Now, another thing is that you will not be able to see, you will not be able to when you do this kind of connection, you will not be able to see your semantic and I'll tell you semantic, you'll not be able to see your table view. You still have your dark query view, right? But you'll not be able to see your table view where you can see all the tables. But your model view and your report canvas is only what you have access to, right? And look at it from here now, guys. If you look at the mode, let me click on each table. It's direct, is what we I'm going to show you guys something. Aha. You see, it's telling me the name of the table, data source type, SQL Server Analysis Services uh, database. The server is showing the linkage, the connection string to that semantic model coming from this thing, right? Now, you see this place called make changes to this model. Now, this is the tricky part now. If I click on this, my connection initially by default is what's it called? Is a direct link connection. But if I want to make changes to this locally on my desktop, it will change from that direct link connection type to direct query connection. Right? So I'm going to click on add a local model. So you will see that I think the logo will change or something. Yeah, I'm doing that to all the tables and I click on submit. So the connection type will change. The storage mode type will change. Aha. You see that the logo has changed. Before it was not something like a world map inside of it, but now it has changed. Now look at details. Now what I use the storage mode has now changed to what? It has changed to what? Direct query. Right? That's changed to direct query. Because I want to edit an already existing. Now, if I make any changes to this semantic model inside of my Power BI desktop and I publish that to maybe another workspace, for example, right? In that workspace, we now call it a specialized semantic model. Now, when we're connecting to it from our one-lay catalog directly, it was uh, what? It was direct link mode, right? But by the time we said, okay, I want to edit and make some changes inside of my Power BI desktop locally and republish that to a new workspace, right? The story mode has now changed to direct query mode, right? Now, another thing that I told you guys is that when you click on your transform data to go to your Power Query, you will not be able to see anything. Your Power Query will not show anything. Because when it comes to the editing, you also have limitations. You cannot do Power Query editing when you connect to a semantic model that you created inside of the Fabric environment. You cannot edit anything using Power Query. See that when I open Power Query now, what did you see? Nothing, empty. It's not even showing any tables, right? Right. So the direct query is still a direct query to the source semantic model that you have on the Fabric environment itself. So yeah, that's basically. So what can you now do when we say you can edit? Well, I think you can edit the relationship. I think you can edit relationship. Yes, you can. You are okay. You can't even delete relationship. Are you serious? Well, can you create a new one? I think yes, you can create a new one. You can create a new one. Yes. Let me do as if I want to create a new one. Fact sales. I pick a new one. Oh, probably I need to look at the column I want to. So let's say sales team ID. It's not even allowing me to pick a new table that I want to connect to. Okay, let me close it and do it again. So I can say manage relationship, new relationship. Let me pick my Dim store. I'm just doing as if I want to create something. I'm not actually creating anything. It's not giving me anything, guys. So that means I cannot. Well, what can I really do then? Uh, I'm coming on. Can I add in a new table? Let's see. Let's see something. So let me go to my lake house. Let me go to my lake house. Where's my lake house? Oh, I have a silver. Okay, let me go to my lake house, bronze and silver. This thing's giving me this error
Mr.
again
Bing, I
still.
think anything you want to do, you have
Yeah.
to do it in the semantic model itself. You can't do
No, you
any,
can
you
still
can't
make
make,
some changes here locally. You
because I
can do
think
some editing.
it's as good as connecting to a semantic model in the Power BI service.
Yeah.
You know, when you
Let
connect
me
to
create a new, let me create a new column. Yes, let me create a new column. I know I can do some things, but let me call this column sales, and I'll just say is equals to the units. Ah, I don't have that thing, this thing. What can I do? Okay, let me say discounts. Let me call this column discount too. And I will just say this should be this should be uh this should be I'm coming on what I can do on this table. Okay, let me just say half quantity. I'm just creating one rubbish column. Doesn't need to mean anything. That can just be 50%. That will be 0.5 multiplied by the order quantity column. I need to specify the table. It's the exact table that I want. Why is it not coming up? Ah, you know what? Let me cancel this thing. Let me do it on. Let me click on the fat sales, and I'll click on new column now. Okay, I'll now call it half quantity. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to publish it back to the same workspace. Let's see what will happen. So I will now call this 0.5 multiplied by the order quantity. Aha, good. So I created a new column inside the sales table. So let me now publish this back now. I'll publish this back. I've made those are changes that I've made now. I've created a new column, new measure, new column, calculation group parameter. You can even bring in a new data from a new table from another place. I have to save this file, right? And just click on save and publish it to the same workspace. So let's see what will happen. Is it going to replace the initial one that we are editing, or is it going to see it as a new one entirely? Let's see. So let's go back here and let's refresh. Let's refresh. Let's see if I'm going to see that new column. Oh, you know what, guys? Let's go back to, let me open a new, let's go back to our workspace. Okay, I'll go back to our workspace. And I'm going to, oh, what happened, guys? It created as a new this thing, you know. It's not replacing what we had there initially. It's creating a new model entirely. So what do you guys think? Is it better to always do all your editing on the fabric this thing and just connect to that one to create your reports?
I mean, I think you can do it in Power BI and just name it, give it a different name if possible. I mean, but it depends on what you prefer. So I
Okay.
think I'll prefer to do it in desktop.
Is it like you prefer to create the model in desktop?
Yeah. I mean, maybe the editing like you just did now.
Okay. For me, I will have said two ways. Maybe I will have just did all my DAX and everything uh inside of
Fabric,
um the fabric environment and just use my Power BI to create the reports. Or I do not create semantic model inside of uh what's it called? My fabric environment and just connect to the warehouse directly from my Power BI.
Mr. Gbenga, me, I won't like I don't like connecting to semantic model really. Because sometimes it gets frustrating when there's maybe there's a complaint about the new report you just created and you're trying to make changes.
I'm trying to make
You know,
changes, yeah.
you always have to go back to the initial, I mean, to the semantic model, to the report that,
Mm,
to the initial report to make
mm.
those changes in there and before it reflects on the,
So you prefer to connect to the warehouse directly and
yes.
model the stuff by yourself.
I mean, it depends. It depends. But I
No,
think
I'm
I would
asking which
prefer
one you
to,
prefer.
I mean, in order to save, maybe connect to the warehouse itself,
And now you
and
now
just
model
do,
yourself
yeah, just
directly.
model it in part, yeah, just model
Okay,
it
Mr.
in.
Taiwo and Mr. Wale, what do you think?
Since it's a cloud-based application, loading. What we are doing, like we started last week, is hand to hand. So if you successfully load our data, do our pipeline to our data warehouse, it is rather better to do everything because probably we might still need to work on that data.
Mm-hmm.
So we just come there rather than creating subgroup, creating dark somewhere, creating modeling somewhere. If we have neat up our modeling, neat up our DAS, write everything that we need to have. Anytime we want to come back, we won't need to start recreating another, or probably it will just be that we'll just create view from the enterprise warehouse and start working.
Okay. I'm trying to read up a documentation here. I'm coming. Okay. What about Mr. Wale?
Yes, you mentioned something earlier when you were creating that measure
Yeah.
that if you go to from the fabric, if you go to Power Query, that you can't use Power Query,
Okay.
it will be empty or something. So
Yeah.
I don't have much experience on that fabric, but one thing I know you are weighing options though, but to me I think we can do whatever we want to do on the desktop, then take it to the semantic model. If
Hmm.
what I say is not don't make sense at all.
Okay. You know what I saw in the
Because
documentation
when we
here?
have
Okay. Sorry.
okay,
Go ahead. Sorry.
so because I think when we have issues like this on semantic model, it will be to me maybe because I don't really have much experience. It will be a bit difficult to sort it out. Meanwhile, if it were to be on a desktop, you can easily
Hmm.
adjust and see where the problem is.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can easily adjust in desktop, but the good thing about semantic model is it free up space because you
Because
can
you're not
create
importing
multiple.
the stuff inside Power BI.
Oh yeah, that's true. Anyways.
No, I'm just adding to your point. So I'm like validating your point.
Okay,
When you said
okay,
it
yeah,
free up space, and I said yes,
yeah,
that since you are not importing anything to Power BI directly.
yes, yes, and you
Hmm.
can build multiple Power BI report off that
Report using the
base
same
semantic
model.
model.
So
Yeah,
that means that semantic model is reusable within the
yes, yeah.
organization. Hmm. Thank you everyone for your contribution. I love it. Now I heard something now on the documentation, and what is what they say. So because when we did the editing, right? The Power BI file was empty. We renamed we saved the Power BI file with a name and republished. So what we are if we wanted to update the original semantic model that we connected to, they said we should go to this semantic model in order to avoid that duplication because we made a change. Instead of us editing inside the desktop like that, like we did, what we'll have done is go here and we'll have just said, come here and say edit in desktop. Do you understand, guys? We'll have just said
Yeah.
edit in desktop. Yeah.
So do we
And it
have
will
to
now open.
refresh before the
Sorry,
change? Once we make an edit here, do we have to refresh it in desktop before
before
we
we
see
can
the
see it,
changes?
Abby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have to just refresh the page.
Okay.
We are not refreshing the model. So this was how we are supposed to do it. Oh. If we wanted to actually replace, I mean, make changes to the already existing one. Why is this thing not working for me now? Because the PPI shared database name. Oh, because I have this one saved with that same name. Let me close this one. And let me just even say don't save. Okay, let's see now. Hmm. Ah, the same error. I'm coming. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? You know what, guys? Let me go and delete. Let me go and delete. Let me go and delete this other one. I'm coming. The other one that we made changes on. This new one. Let me delete it. Okay, delete. Yeah. And let's now go back now here. Refresh. Okay. Now let's go here and click on editing desktop. Open Power BI desktop. I'm praying it works now. Ooh, it looks like it's going to open. Aha, good. So this one is live editing. Oh. So do you understand the difference between the two now? Are you there with me, you guys?
Yes.
See that this one already has the name. This one is live editing. This one is live editing. So let's now try and do what we did the other time now. So while clicking on this spark sales, what did I do the other time? I created a new, I can't even create a new column. Oh my. Let me look at manage relationship. Let's say I delete relationship between store. I can delete or change it to inactive. Oh, nice. I delete this relationship. Aha, nice. So the one I'm doing here is directly affecting what you have on the fabric, this thing. Oh. Is it clear, everybody? This one is live editing. Is it clear, everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is.
Okay. So I can create a new measure, but I cannot create new code. So there are still limitations anyway. I can bring in I can't even bring in a new data. Are you serious? I can't even bring in new tables from another place. I cannot transform data. I can use external tools. Nice. Okay. Let me see. I can refresh the schema and the data. The schema alone, the data. Okay. Let me ask you a question, guys, to test us. In what scenario are we going? Do you think we are going to refresh only the schema? In what scenario? Can somebody try?
What's the question?
In what scenario do you think we are going to only refresh the schema?
When we have a daily data coming in or a scheduled data.
I didn't get that.
When we have a schedule data that has been scheduled or like we are connected online now, live data now, probably in after about 2, 3, 4 hours, another
Yeah.
data has come in. So
Okay. So the
we
right answer
need
is this, sir. We only
okay.
refresh the schema alone when probably the table has new columns. Do you
Yeah,
understand me, sir?
yeah.
When the
That's
source
exactly.
table, for example, now the warehouse, in the sales listing, how many columns do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's say we have 15 columns. And when they now readjusted the data flow gen 2 that brought data into the warehouse, there's now 2 additional columns. We only need to refresh the schema.
Yeah.
Is that clear, sir?
Yeah.
It changes to the table, not when additional rows are being added to the table. No.
Yeah. Hold on.
It's only when the table structure changes. And once the table structure changes, it means we have columns that have been renamed. Maybe they were calling it customer underscore ID before. It's not customer ID, not customer underscore ID. Or we have new columns. Or some of our columns, their data type have changed. So we don't need to load the entire data again. We don't need to refresh the entire data. We just need to refresh the schema. Is that clear, sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir. So that's the difference. That's when we refresh only the schema. We can refresh the data alone. We can refresh the schema and the data together at the same time. So our transform, you can't even do, in fact, okay, we can do row level security, which is good. Which is good. This is a new topic entirely. So there's nothing really that we can do here in this live editing. So since I've done this now, let me look at what will happen in my this thing. I have to say refresh the page to see. You see now, the dim store. What do you see here, guys? What do you see, guys? Is somebody there with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
So you will see that the dim store, this thing that I'm doing in my desktop now, you see that since it's being reflected. Let me do a new measure again. Let me do a new measure. And I will now do what I did the other time. Half quantity is equals to 0.5 multiplied by what? The other quantity column. Why is it doing like this for me now? And I clicked on the sales table before new measure. Let me do it like that so that there will not be any story that half quantity is equals to 0.5 multiplied by what? Multiplied by other quantity. Why is it not? Do I need to bring in the table name first? Quantity. Like this. Ha. What's going on? What does this thing want me to do?
But it worked earlier.
What did I do the other time that made it work, sir? Oh, it's a measure. Hmm. I'm the one that's making the mistake. Oh. That's why the thing was not working. I have to aggregate that column. Thank God for the intelligence. Oh. Yeah, you see now, correct. Yeah. So when I can close this now. Since I'm doing live editing, when I refresh, I will see that new measure now in my sales table. So yeah, so that's basically it for today, guys. Is there any questions so far?
Thanks very much.
No,
Any
no
question?
question from your side.
Sorry?
Yeah, I don't have any question as well.
I'm good too.
I didn't hear Mr. Taiwo. Is it Mr. Taiwo?
Yeah, I'm good too.
Okay, yeah, good too. Okay, good. So let me see if we can quickly do creating reports sharp in 2 minutes. Oh, just like our Power BI desktop. Oh, see all your visual. In fact, just like Power BI desktop. So I can come here now. I can have like my matrix table, right? And I can come here and bring in my, let me bring in my sales team. Let me see how they are performing. Sales team ID, and I bring in my total order quantity that they've done. Right, sales team. Why is it showing like this? I don't understand this thing. It's just coming up with cheaper here.
This is strange.
As in, I don't understand though. Okay. It's not doing normal. Sum of quantity. So you can, just like we can draw our normal report. Let me change this to which chart, which are the column charts. You see now. So you can create your chart from here. You can create your. So don't worry, guys. We'll continue. We'll continue next week Sunday. Now, for those that really want to be committed to this class, let me just tell you. So the plan is that if you guys show some commitment, after a few weeks, we might have like a section where people are going to work on a small project that they will just do end to end. Did we want to ingest the data? They will be the one to do all the transformation of the data, publish the data to a warehouse or a lakehouse as a data table. They will create their semantic model, create the report, like more of like an end-to-end thing. So if we can do that by December, I think that would be nice. But we can't do that if you guys do not come consistently or attend the class consistently. Thank you very much, guys. So when we come next week, I want to explain the concept of deployment pipeline next week, Sunday. So don't miss the class next week, Sunday. And I also discuss how deployment pipeline relates to version control and CI/CD pipeline. Whether they relate, yes or no, we don't know. I know. Okay, let me say I already know, but I want to really explain it and break it down so that we can all learn together. So if I were you, what I would do is that I would also go and watch some videos on it, do some finding. So that when we come next week, you are also going to be able to contribute to whatever the little that I know. You will be able to contribute to it. So see you guys next week.
So what topic for next week? Sorry, disturbing that.
Deployment pipeline.
Deployment pipeline.
Yes. Deployment pipeline. That's what we are doing next week.
Is that not
Next week,
publishing?
Sunday. Sorry?
Is that not publishing?
No, it's not publishing.
Okay.
It's when we have the development workspace, testing workspace, and production workspace, and we're moving our different fabric items from one to another.
Okay.
Yes. Because that thing came out in the exam. I saw it in the exam. And how it relates to version control with Git. So we'll talk about that next week, Sunday.
We are still
Okay,
waiting
guys,
for the
thank you.
lecture, all these lectures.
Yeah. Tatawa, I didn't hear you. Sorry. What did you say?
I said we are still waiting for all these lectures.
It's on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Let me share the YouTube listening with you.
Yeah, I don't mind.
You have the YouTube page, Abby?
I don't really have YouTube page, so I
Let
can go to.
me just quickly show you now. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and share it with people. This is our YouTube channel now.
Okay,
Unified
Unified
Fabric and
Fabric.
Power BI User Group. Look at
Okay.
all the videos that we've done so far. The Fabric
Okay.
Sundays. If you go to playlist here and click on view full playlist, see everything. In fact, this one we even did last week Sunday. It's even here. By tomorrow now, I will upload the one for this night. Okay, everyone. Have a lovely week ahead. Enjoy your week. I hope to see you next week Sunday.